when I realized my 10-year-old was no longer a child. It was an ordinary Wednesday when my phone buzzed with an urgent call from the school principal. My heart sank as I read the caller ID. Danny had never been in trouble before. As I rushed to the school, I couldn't help but imagine the worst. What could my 10-year-old have done to warrant a call home? Little did I know. This day would uncover a depth of courage in Danny that I had never seen before. Upon arriving at the school, I was led to the principal's office. There, the principal explained that Danny had intervened during a troubling incident. A group of older kids had been bullying a smaller student, taunting him and pushing him around during recess. Danny, who had been playing nearby, saw what was happening and made a split-second decision to step in. The principal showed me the report. Danny had confronted the bullies, telling them to stop and demanding they leave the smaller child alone. When the bullies ignored him and continued their harassment, Danny, despite his small stature compared to the older kids, physically stepped between them and the victim. He tried to shield the smaller child, which led to a shoving match. Danny ended up with a black eye and several bruises. The principal's tone was mixed with admiration and concern as he mentioned that Danny's actions were commendable, but the physical confrontation had violated the school's policy. They had given him a one-day suspension for breaking the rules about physical altercations. I listened, my emotions swinging between pride in Danny's bravery and worry about the consequences. As we drove home, Danny sat quietly in the passenger seat, his expression thoughtful. When we got home, I took him to the kitchen table and asked him to tell me everything. He spoke calmly about what had happened, explaining that he couldn't just stand by and watch the bullying. He said, "I knew it was wrong, and I couldn't let them hurt him. I wanted to help." I looked at Danny, my heart swelling with pride and admiration. He wasn't just my little boy anymore. He was showing the kind of bravery and moral strength that many adults struggle to find. "Danny," I said softly, "what you did today was incredibly brave. You stood up for someone who needed help, even when it was hard, and even when you knew it might get you in trouble. I'm proud of you." Danny's face lit up with a mixture of relief and pride. We spent the rest of the day talking about bravery, kindness, and standing up for what's right. That evening, as I tucked him into bed, I realized that this was a pivotal moment. My son, though only 10, had demonstrated a level of maturity and courage that made me see he was growing up faster than I had expected. It wasn't just about the confrontation or the suspension. It was about Danny developing into a young person with strong principles and the courage to act on them. And as I kissed him goodnight, I knew that the boy who had always needed my guidance was becoming someone who could face the world with integrity and bravery.